Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole and this channel is all about health, wellness, and designing your dream life. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through my upper body warm-up routine. So firstly, let's talk about why you need to warm up in the first place. Why can't you just jump straight into your workout? Well, if you're young and healthy and you've got good joints, then you probably could just jump straight into your workout routine without doing warm-up and you'd be fine. But that's not a very good habit to get into because as you get older, you are more likely to injure yourself if you're not doing a proper warm-up. So whether you're a beginner or you're advanced, whether you're old or you're young, it's a really good idea to be starting with a warm-up routine so that you can prevent injuries. We need our muscles to be nice and warm before we start putting them under tension and under pressure, because if our muscles are cold, then that's when we can have injuries, we can strain them, and that can hurt our performance in the long run. There are three components to a good warm-up. The first is that it warms up your muscles without being fatiguing. The second is that it moves your joints through its full range of motion. And the third is that you do low-dose loading in preparation for heavier lifts. The main thing that you want to be avoiding during your warm-up is just static stretches. So like I said, we want to focus on dynamic stretches rather than static. Okay, so what exactly does that look like? What do you actually need to be doing? Well, first we're starting with 5 to 10 minutes of light activity, and you want to be aiming to just get a light sweat going. Typically, this means that you'll be warming up your entire body, like doing a walk on the treadmill or riding a stationary bike, but typically I'll choose activities that include my upper body to make sure that I'm actually getting my arms moving. So that might be something like the elliptical or a rowing machine. The next thing that you want to be doing is taking your upper body, all of your joints, all of your muscles through a dynamic stretch. So there's a difference between dynamic stretches and static stretches. Static stretches are when you pull the muscle to its longest length, so you're stretching the muscle and you hold that position. Dynamic stretches is where you take the muscles through a full range of motion and you're not pausing and holding anything, you're just moving back and forth through your ranges. So for our upper body, that means taking our shoulders, our elbows, our wrists, all through full range of motion. So you might be doing something like hanging arm circles, swinging your arms around. You can use a stick to do this as well, doing circles with a stick. I tend to use a TheraBand because my arms are still a little bit tight. I haven't done a whole lot of mobility work on them. So using a TheraBand means that I can actually stretch it and it's not as restrictive as using a stick. So again, we want to focus on our upper body joints, so our shoulders, our elbows, and our wrists. But you also want to warm up any other accessory muscles, so any other muscle groups that will be important for you during your workout. So that might include things like your upper back and your neck. Okay, and then finally the last part that we're doing is the low dose loading in preparation for heavier lifts. So if you're going to be doing a bench press, for example, and you want to work your way up to your working weight. So you're not just going to sit down at the bench, load up your plates and start going. You need to gradually work your way up to your lifting weight. So typically for me, I will start with just pressing the bar. So that's about 20 kilos. I'll just start by pressing that. If you can't do that yet, obviously start with something smaller, just use some dumbbells. But you want to start with an easier weight just to get your muscles used to that feeling of, stretching and pulling and pushing. Then I'll typically add a little bit of weight to the bar so that I'm closer to my working weight. I'll do a few reps of that, and then I'll put on what I'm actually going to be working with, what my working weight is. So again, you want to be doing enough that you're warming up, but not too much that you're fatiguing and that you can't get the performance gains that you want when you're doing your heavier lifts. So I found that recently I was doing too much of a heavy warm-up, that I wasn't actually getting the results I wanted when I was doing my heaviest lift. So I had to reduce the weight that I was putting on first and then go to my working set. So for example, right now I'm working on 35 kilos is my working weight. So I'll do the bar, which is about 20 kilos first. I'll put on just a little bit of extra weight and maybe do like 27.5 kilos, and then I'll do my 35 kilos. What I was doing too much. On my second set, I was doing 30, and then that was fatiguing me too much that I wasn't able to get the reps that I wanted when I was on 35. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below, and I will get back to you if you need any help with figuring out what to do for your warm-up. So realistically, your whole warm-up should take only 10 or 15 minutes. But again, it's really important to make sure that you're warming up properly, moving your joints through their full ranges so that you're not injuring yourself, because if you injure yourself, then you have to take time off, and then you end up going back to where you started and having to rebuild. So it's better to just get it out of the way, do your warm-up routine, and then you can get back into reaching your goals and pushing your body. Alright, that's it for today's video. If you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. I'm uploading new videos every 3 days. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!